but I think Brand New Day in sheer volume has the most Spider-Man action than any other Spider-Man movie.
Yeah, and it's the biggest highlight of the movie, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm so glad you brought up TASM 2, The Amazing Spider-Man 2, because it brings me to the next couple things I wanted to say while we're in the non-spoiler talk, which is I hate to do this, and I hate to give you flowers at all in any way. But the best thing in Spider-Man Brand New Day to me personally is the action. But I think TASM 2's action is better. And the second best thing in Spider-Man Brand New Day to me is how good it looks. But TASM 2 looks better. And so I do think that TASM 2 is a clearly worse movie than Spider-Man Brand New Day. It just has problems that Spider-Man Brand New Day doesn't have. But like, I am saying this to say that I do get TASM 2 reheated nachos vibes from Spider-Man Brand New Day a lot. And like, you know, they said, they were like Tom Holland was like, I've been watching videos, I've been watching podcasts, Destin Daniel Cretton. Like, they keep saying, like, we've been listening to the fans. And I'm like, you could definitely tell in spots where it was like, oh yeah, we've been yelling at them about this forever. And so they did that like TASM 2. The suit is another great example. Like, but, you know, I do think that listening to fans too much can sometimes get you in trouble. Like Star Wars Episode 9, Rise of Skywalker, that's a product of fan outrage about something. So there is like a fine line that you can't really cross. And I think that Spider-Man Brand New Day does do an overall great job with that. I will say, though, like, I was watching it and I was like, God, this is so great. That's not the Times Square scene, though. And I was like, God, the swinging looks so good. But it's not that opening scene after the plane scene in TASM 2. So it's like, it's weird. I'm in this like weird limbo about it. Your take about TASM 2 continues to age. I don't want to say well, but interestingly.
Yeah. So like I said, I think in Brand New Day, there's the sheer volume of action is more than TASM 2, and I think they do some interesting things that TASM 2 doesn't. I mean, you know, he's Brand New Day has more fights. He's fighting more interesting things, you know, like the Tank and like Hulk and like the Hand, and it's just constant and it's great. I don't know if a singular fight tops what happens in the Times Square for me. You know, the slow-mo backflip with the music and everything. Like, I don't think there was one particular moment that was that epic. In terms of action. But I mean, I think there's more moments where I was watching in Brand New Day and being like, oh, this is cool. More often. So it's a little bit hard to compare. Maybe the TASM 2 has highs that, you know, the highest highs in TASM 2 are higher in terms of action than Brand New Day, but Brand New Day has more. And also, like, yeah, it looks better. I still, even from the trailers, I was still like, I still think TASM 2 looks a little bit better in terms of swinging in the suit and everything. But again, this looks the best that we've gotten since TASM 2, so it's still amazing, right? And freaking... we know the industry and we know how weird it is now, and we know how VFX artists are paid and how they cut corners and everything, and how things like Pacific Rim and all this stuff and TASM 2 look better even though they were from 15 years ago. So I think that's probably what it is just that TASM 2 had freaking 200 more people working on it. So yeah, I wouldn't say there's like a huge gap between TASM 2, and I'm the TASM 2 glazer. But yeah, I agree with you. Some of the stuff still looks better. But that's not really a complaint about the action in this movie, because it's still freaking amazing. Absolutely.
We're gonna stack up Spider-Man Brand New Day against a couple other things, a couple of projects, and we're going to do them by category. So we're just gonna stack up Brand New Day against other Spider-Man movies. Here we go. Spider-Man Brand New Day better than Across the Spider-Verse?
No.
No. Is it better than Into the Spider-Verse?
No.
No. Is it better than Spider-Man 1 with Tobey Maguire?
I would say no.
I would say no as well. Is it better than Spider-Man 2?
No.
I would say no as well. Is it better than The Amazing Spider-Man 1?
Yes.
I agree. Is it better than Spider-Man 3?
Yes.
I agree. Is it better than Spider-Man Far From Home?
Yes.
I agree. Is it better than Spider-Man Homecoming?
No.
Homecoming.
Sorry.
That's your least favorite.
Sorry. Yes, obviously.
I was like, I've converted him.
No, in my ear, I heard No Way Home.
I was
apologize.
like, oh, we won. No, so you think it's better than Homecoming? I do not think it is better than Spider-Man Homecoming, but I am very high on that movie. Spider-Man No Way Home.
No.
Oh.
Like, there are things about Brand New Day. There are some story things that I think work better in Brand New Day, and I think the action is better in Brand New Day, and there are some things in Brand New Day that I like better, but it's No Way Home.
There's not a movie that makes me feel the way that No Way Home feels. It's just not.
I mean, you can call it whatever it is. No Way Home's great. And you can, Andrew and Toby are in it, and you can say that's nostalgia bait or whatever the frick you want to call it. I don't care.
A lot of my favorite stuff in No Way Home though happens pre Toby and Andrew, like the May scene. Like, it's just the best shit ever. So that's No Way Home easily for me. And then the final one I have is The Amazing Spider-Man 2. Are you taking that over Brand New Day or not? That's one of your favorites.
Yeah, well, TASM 2. If we were ranking Spider-Man, it's the Spider-Verse movies, and then I normally take No Way Home, and then Spider-Man 1 and 2 with Tobey, and then TASM 2 is right in there. Sure. I think Brand New Day is going to be right in there as well.
Yep.
I don't know, Spider-Man 1, Spider-Man 2, Brand New Day, and TASM 2. Normally I put some of the Tobey ones at the top of that list, and then TASM 2 somewhere in there. I can make arguments. This is, again, why I said I need to sit with this and figure it out.
This is just reactionary. This could easily change next week. It could change next month, all that stuff.
It's very close. I'll put it above TASM 2 for now.
Okay, I'm also going to put it above TASM 2, but that shouldn't surprise anybody. For me, like, just my general ranking real quick of Spider-Man movies, as of right now, it goes Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, No Way Home, Homecoming, Spider-Man 1 with Tobey Maguire, Spider-Man 2 with Tobey Maguire, Spider-Man Brand New Day at 7. Then TASM 2, then Far From Home, then Spider-Man 3, then TASM 1. That's my ranking right now. A lot of people are going to say Brand New Day's a little bit low. Maybe that's reactionary. Maybe you'll convince me in spoilers. Maybe I'll convince you. I don't know. I still give it an 8 out of 10. You do not think it's cheap that they have done With Great Power Comes Great Responsibility now 3 times with Tom? Second time in a row with Marissa Tomei? That took me out of that scene so much.
No.
I can't believe that. It's the 3rd time you've rephrased With Great Power Comes Great Responsibility. That's the only thing that Spider-Man has to say. You can't just have her say something about being a good person.
She does.
You can't have her make an analogy to Feast or something that she does or whatever the fuck. You can't have her make a comment about losing Ben. You can't have her do anything other than With Great Power Comes Great Responsibility. That took me out of that scene so much. I
think you're being a little bit too harsh on it. I think, yes, she does say responsibility. She says something about responsibility. Like
she fully says Great Power Comes Great Responsibility. Not bar for bar, but she says it again.
She says something with the word responsibility, like early on in the speech. But I mean, you just said, why doesn't she say just be a good person? I think the entire rest of that speech is being like, people are going to treat you bad, like blah, blah, blah. And like, you still need to be a good person. Like, that's what the whole rest of the speech was to me. So like, yeah, it kind of started with that, but there's more. But it ends with Great Power Comes Great Responsibility. I don't remember it ending with it.
And I was just like, really? We're doing that?
Okay, well, I'm sorry that bothered you, but in my opinion, that was the best scene in the movie.
Really?
Jean Grey, the shot of obviously Peter sitting on the bed, and then it kind of panning, and then it's Jean sitting in his place, listening to this character that was such a focal point of the last 3 movies, and Peter sharing her with Jean after she's died in his mind, after everything that Jean's gone through, and Spidey understands, and then Spidey also sits on the bed with her and talks to her, and they share this moment of understanding of like, hey, we don't have to be the monster, even though, and he says, I'm sorry about your sister, and she says, I'm sorry about your aunt. Like, using his trauma and everything he's gone through in the past 3 movies and this movie, and allowing him to share himself with her to help her through this mental health thing and this trauma and this violence that she's going through, and the fact that she lost her sister, and the fact that she was literally sitting in his place, in his mind, in his memory, and getting a speech from Aunt May as the climax of the movie, I thought was brilliant.
You do not see a problem that somebody could have with them doing with great power comes great responsibility for a third time here?
Yeah, I understand it a little bit. I just think there's a little bit more meat to that scene than just them recycling. I didn't feel it was a complete recycle in that scene. I felt there was more to what she was saying than just, because with Spidey, with that, it's like, you need to be a superhero. You need to be a good person, or like with great power, like if you have what does he say in Homecoming? If bad things happen and I could have stopped it, like if there's a chance.
That's in Civil War, but yeah.
If there's a chance or a thing that I can do, I feel like I need to do it.
Yep.
And that's my responsibility. I didn't really get that. That was the main point of that scene.
I'm with you that it means 3 different things the 3 times they've said it. I'm just over it. I would have straight up rather than looked at the camera and said, with great power comes great responsibility. I was like almost offended that they like reworded it again.
And you don't think that's a little bit of an overreaction?
No, I've
only seen it once, so I can't remember the entirety of the speech. So
I just, this is not something I think I'm going to convince you on. It's just like, this doesn't surprise me at all that you liked that scene. I did think that maybe when I brought it up, I was like, damn, you don't think this is cheap? I thought maybe, that's not what I was talking about, by the way. But it is something I feel strongly about, where I was like, I don't think, generally on the internet, I don't think there are bigger, louder Homecoming fans than me, and No Way Home fans than us. We are very loud about those 2 movies. And I am very loud about my love for Marissa Tomei's Aunt May in a way that I don't think other people are. I think of anybody being affected by that scene emotionally, it would be me. And as soon as they showed it early on, I was like, I'm going to be a fucking basket case when she comes on. And I don't know, the scene partly didn't hit for me, and this is a perfect segue into what we've been avoiding talking all day, which is Jean Grey. I don't know how redeemable she is in this fucking movie.
yes,
And that's something I don't buy as well in this scene, is Peter is so kind to her, and yes, that's so Spider-Man, to be so kind to the villain, but this is Jean Grey, so we have to look at this through the lens of the MCU. This is going to be a main player. This is Sadie Sink as Jean Grey. This is going to be a main player in the MCU going forward in Jake Schreier's X-Men movie. She may be the main character, and I don't like her very much. She does some fucked up shit in this movie.
Yeah,
And the excuse is, I'm looking for my sister. I don't care. Like, that's not good enough.
No, it's not. And my main question is, did they introduce her to evil? Like, I know Jean is a very gray character.
Yeah.
And she
does a lot of bad stuff.
She does a lot
with
of bad
the Phoenix and all that.
I get it. But if she's going to be a mainstay character, to introduce her in her first movie, this evil in the world and to the audience, it is questionable. And especially at the end, I do agree with you. This is one of the reasons why I want to watch it again, because I think they do certain things where, like when she breaks into the vault and John shoots those 2 guys, they purposely show that they're still alive.
Yes.
So I want to go back and watch and see if they do that throughout the movie, like if she's avoiding killing people.
She walks an elderly man into oncoming traffic.
Yeah.
She fully does that.
Yeah.
Like for Aura, by the way, just to be like, look what I can do.
Yeah. That's a big problem.
You're
right.
And to me, that is not the worst thing she does in the movie. What she does to Peter with MJ on the roof is so unforgivable. Can you imagine being Peter in that? I straight up do not buy him forgiving her for that.
Yeah, that's a huge problem.
I don't buy it. Like he has this unbelievable emotional moment where, like you said, he invites her into his mind and shares May with her, and they have this scene where he's like, "You would have loved her." She does way too many evil things in this movie, and a lot of us were like, "It can't be Jean Grey. Jean Grey can't be the main villain. It has to be Mr. Negative. It has to be the Hand. It has to be the..." No, it is 100% Jean Grey the entire movie. And so it's like, yeah.
No, I think that's a good point, because when it happened, I had the thought. I was like, okay, that's why I wrote it down. Did they introduce her to evil? And that's why I was going back and thinking through like scenes. I was like, okay, maybe I just saw that wrong. Maybe she wasn't as evil. No, she literally just, yeah, what she did on the rooftop was terrible.
Awful.
What she did to that guy. I mean, she unleashed the Hulk. The tank was throwing cars everywhere.
Absolutely. The tank kills people 100%. The Hulk kills people 100%. And I just keep coming back to it. Like, she makes out with him, acts as though MJ can remember him, and then is like, yeah, Peter, hold her, feel her.
Yeah,
like,
crazy.
Does that, and then throws her off of a building. Like,
yeah, none of that was necessary to finding your sister, by the way.
None of it. Like, and the flashback that we get with her is really sad. Like, really sad that her sister mind controls her to go away from the situation. All that is really good. All of it is really sad. But it's like, she is, and it's a good origin story for a villain. Like, I'm buying it if she's a villain.
The scene where she's looking like this, being tortured the same way her sister was being tortured, and she sees VMAX and understands that was my sister's last thought that she broadcasted to me, and she died right here. Unbelievable origin story. I love that part of it. But yeah, like, I feel like you could do this whole movie and have her do all of these things without, straight up murdering innocent people.
It comes back to the John Bernthal thing I brought up. I think that Jean Grey rooftop scene with Zendaya and Tom Holland is phenomenal. It's phenomenally acted. Zendaya gives a hell of a performance as evil Sadie Sink. Like, I love all that stuff. I just like, to service the movie and make the movie better, it does make the universe worse. Like, how am I going to, I do not buy this woman, as I do not like this woman.
Yeah.
When she gets the ending where she's like going off, I'm like, fuck her. Like I don't care about the emotional scene and the thinking. I care about Tom, and I love that he like takes the bullet for her, and I buy that, I guess. But like, I don't fuck with her at all.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't really. Let us know what you guys think. Like, I'd love to hear an explanation for that. I don't.
Were you at all disappointed that it wasn't somebody else? I very much was.
What, Jean Grey?
Yeah, I wanted it to be a Mr. Negative. Somebody pulling the string. She's threatening somebody. All this, first of all, she can't kill the elderly man, and she cannot do the rooftop scene to Peter. That is just so bonkers. But, she can't do either of those, but I really wanted it to, I've got your sister, so you're going to do all these things.
Yeah. Well, it kind of is. She thinks she's still alive.
Yes, but it's damage control, which comes to another negative. Like, damage control is not only them being the villain, is it horribly predictable. I mean, that is the most predictable thing ever.
Yeah, they're doing bad stuff.
But I think it's painfully uninteresting for a live-action Spider-Man movie. The character with the second best rogues gallery in superhero history, with villains like Chameleon, Venom, Mr. Negative, Kraven, Black Cat, Hobgoblin, many more that haven't been done properly in a movie, let alone live action. But the primary villain of Spider-Man Brand New Day is the fourth most popular X-Men, and Trammell Tillen giving his most phoned-in performance of his life. Like, that's the villain of a live-action Spider-Man movie? Yes, I'm going to be disappointed in that, and I'm going to dock the movie points for that.
It doesn't help at all that Scorpion's in it.
He's barely in it. He's not a primary villain or anything like that.
He's not a primary villain, but it's not like they erased his rogues gallery at all.
No, I'm not saying they erased it. I just want, it's the same thing that if the primary villain of a Batman movie was somebody disappointing, or if the Joker was the villain of Batman 2, we'd be disappointed because we've seen that enough. There's so much we could do. That's how I feel about Spider-Man Brand New Day, but you didn't do Green Goblin again. You didn't do Dr. Octopus again. You didn't do somebody we're sick of. No, you didn't do anybody interesting. Damage Control and Jean Grey are the villains of a Spider-Man movie in 2026. I'm disappointed by that. I just am.
I understand being disappointed by it a little bit. It doesn't bother me as much. I understand wanting that, and I was happy that Scorpion's in it because we've never really seen Scorpion that. So I was glad that Scorpion was at least in it, and You said they're uninteresting. They're at least interesting. I think Jean Grey and the Damage Control, everything they did with Jean Grey was interesting. Now, it's not Spider-Man Rogues Gallery interesting, but I wouldn't say they're not interesting.
Well, Scorpion, we get him in the montage where Spider-Man beats him, and then we get him when he's mind controlled.
Yeah.
So, like, that's barely Scorpion. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no,
that's
I get
not
it.
even him being Scorpion.
Yeah, I'm just saying, I get it. I'm just saying there was a new Spider-Man villain that we've never seen on screen before in the movie fighting Spider-Man.
Yes, but then this leads me to another negative. If you would have told me that Trammell Tillman, my favorite acting performance in Severance and a major standout in Mission Impossible 8, was going to be the villain of a Spider-Man movie, I would have jumped for joy. But the way the character's written, he's so boring in one note. Like, he's exactly who we think he is. He's exactly what we expect from Damage Control from the MCU projects we've gotten with them so far, like Miss Marvel and Wonder Man and Spider-Man No Way Home. Like, even if he wasn't phoning it in, I don't think the role is, like, salvageable. But it also doesn't help that he doesn't do anything. Like, if it was a completely different actor, would it make any difference? Despite the fact that this is such a talent that you have in this role, and I think he goes completely wasted. I was super disappointed by that.
I mean, he's somewhat bland and whatever. I don't think they gave him a lot to do, but that brings us to another question. Do you think the movie was too messy? Because I think if they had tried to do something like that deep with everyone, it might have gotten to that point. Going into Spider-Man Brand New Day, we were afraid it was going to be too messy because...
Too much going on.
We got the Hand, we got maybe Mr. Negative, we've got whoever Sadie Sink is, we've got Hulk, we've got the MJ relationship, we've got Scorpion, we've got Punisher, and, you know, we've got other examples of Spider-Man movies being too messy. The main one to me is Spider-Man 3.
Yep.
A lot of people point to TASM 2 as well. I think they handled it really, really well. I think there was one moment where I was like, okay, we're trying to add this in, and it was like 2/3 of the way through the movie, and then we were getting Jean's backstory, and I was like, okay, this might be a little too much. We've got a lot of other stuff going on, but then it was so good, I didn't care. Mm-hmm. And then it led into the rest of the movie with VMAX and her powers and everything. So I think everything connected really, really well. You know, Hulk being in there made perfect sense. We had to develop an inhibitor chip. John is only in there when he's needed to be. They don't try to do too much with him. So I think if they also tried to make Trammell Tillman's character some deep, nefarious person pulling the strings, I think that would have been a little bit too much. I'm glad they've kind of focused on Jean's character.
No, that's a fair point. I can't get over it that we have a Spider-Man movie in 2026 and we have the second best, arguably the best rogues gallery in the history of superheroes, and it's a guy in a suit. It's so disappointing to me.
What, Scorpion?
No, Trammell Tillman's
like
character.
an actual
like double-breasted suit. Like, it's just like, yeah, I understand what you mean, and it probably would have made the movie messier, but I think I'd take that trade.
I don't think I would, because I enjoyed the Jean stuff so much.
New York, MCU New York, man. This is second time in a row that they're all under some kind of awful traumatic mind control.
Yeah, I'm out of there.
In a circular space.
Yeah.
I was like, damn, they cannot catch a break. I know we always make the joke that MCU New York is the worst place to live, but it's really the worst place to live. This shit's happening weekly.
Yeah.
Did that at all, though, annoy you, or did you feel any certain type of way that this is another MCU movie where we are talking the villain, we are beating the villain by talking to them? Okay, hear me out here. In the context of Spider-Man movies, I love it, because you've never done a Spider-Man movie like this, but Spider-Man Brand New Day is a part of the MCU. It is part of a greater franchise, even though it's made by a completely different studio. This is like the fourth time that we've done this, the fourth time in like 6 movies that we've just talked the villain off the ledge is how we win. I am fatigued.
Sure. So what? Obviously, it was Thunderbolts, and then Fantastic Four. We push them through a
Fantastic Four. It's Brave New World.
Okay.
He has to talk Hulk off the ledge, and then it's talking in. There was another one. It's talking in Thor: Love and Thunder. It's talking in Wakanda Forever. It's always in the MCU. post Endgame, it feels like every villain is defeated by talking to them. And yes, there are exceptions. Galactus, exception. The High Evolutionary, he gets his face scraped off. Like, there are people like that. They have to talk Darben off the ledge. Now, they talk her off the ledge, and then she still attacks them. I think that happens. But it's the same thing from the heroes over and over and over that, yeah, it's like a new thing for a Spider-Man movie, but it is not new in this franchise. And so I am fatigued by it.
I think Brave New World is the worst example there. I think Thunderbolts obviously did it really well, and it made sense. And I think if it makes sense, no, I get, even if it makes sense, it's if they do it too often.
Thunderbolts is my favorite movie of the movies we just named that it happens in. But because Thunderbolts was the last one to do it, I was fatigued by it in Thunderbolts. It was a complaint of mine in Thunderbolts. I was like, we defeated him with the power of friendship. We're doing this again.
It didn't bother me at all in Thunderbolts.
This movie, it's like we've done it again.
Well, it would bother me less if they didn't have the hand scene. Because we still get him
It would
having...
bother you more if we didn't have the hand scene.
Yes, sorry.
That's a cool fight scene.
Yeah, because we still get Spidey defeating a villain with not talking. We get him defeating it by being baller Spider-Man, organic webs man, and accepting who he is. So that happening right beforehand makes it a little bit better for me. Whenever you have a climax of a movie with like a superhero or something, and you take out anything epic like that and just do that, I think it might fatigue me a little bit more. But the fact that they still let Spider-Man be Spider-Man, but then let him be this person that's a good person, and it's more Peter and it's Aunt May, and then give him that. They kind of had both in there. So it bothered me a little bit less, maybe.
No, yeah, sure. And if you look, the MJ...
But
the May scene is your favorite scene of the movie, so of course you're not bothered.
Yeah, and I see what you're saying, though. I just didn't, other than Thunderbolts, and Brave New World, I hadn't really considered it. And Brave New World is more of a Hulk problem, which we can also talk about. Are you annoyed by the fact that he talks off Hulk by saying Peter?
Hulk's sun's getting real low again, but it's actually the worst one ever. This is the one that it makes the least amount of sense to me, except Brave New World, which is an exception, which is obviously the worst one. But like with actual Hulk, who is a nicer guy than Red Hulk, so remove the Red Hulk scene. This is the third, this is like, we were promised proper Rage Hulk, but he's just mind-controlled Smart Hulk for 70% of the fight. And then when we finally get...
I think he's Rage Hulk longer.
I didn't feel that way.
When Punisher shows up, are they still fighting Smart Hulk? I don't think so.
Oh, I think you're right. Yeah, you're right.
But anyways.
Okay, he's Smart Hulk for longer than I expected him to be. Now, that made sense because she couldn't mind control Hulk, but she could mind control Smart Hulk, and that was interesting to bring out Hulk. But, dude, the fight is 5 minutes long, and for him to go sun's getting real low essentially is what he does. Yeah, that.
I thought they were going to explain it away a little bit with having some explanation of like Hulk, because people were saying this because he's Professor Hulk or whatever, maybe the spell wouldn't bother him, or like Hulk could actually remember him or something. So when he says it's Peter, I thought they were going to like really hammer home that this was somehow Bruce and Hulk could still remember him, and they were going to use that as a reason for why it would work. But
have they ever interacted? Hulk and Peter? Because they don't interact in Infinity War.
Not that we see, I guess.
They don't interact in Infinity War because he gets beat at the start of Infinity War, and then he's never Hulk again, and then he's Smart Hulk, and then...
No, so either way,
yeah,
I thought that's what they were going to do, and they kind of didn't. So yeah, that was kind of annoying. I think they should have let the inhibitor chip work. That should have been how we defeated him. Science.
Or big punch.
No.
Give me a big punch off the building.
No.
Give me a big charged up punch off the building.
No.
Wait, he lets go. Oh my gosh.
No, I think that would have bothered me as well. Spider-Man gonna punch Hulk. Homie
punches him off the building and then he falls, and that's what happens.
Hulk can't fall off a building?
No, not really. Not from that height with all that concrete attached to him. I think that's what knocked him out. You don't think that? You think what knocked him out is like he gave up?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't interpret it that way at all. I interpreted it as he gave up and he knew the fall would knock him out. We've seen less knockout Hulk because the fucking Hulkbuster knocks him out.
Yeah, but the Hulkbuster gave him way more
Of a fight.
abuse
Yeah.
than Peter had at that point.
You're right. I was pissed that they
And he dropped a whole building on him. He dropped him into a construction site and then like blew it up, and then all that stuff fell on him. I don't think a punch and him falling off the building would have satisfied me.
Sure.
But we had the explanation right there. Science, inhibitor chip. Like that was the whole thing we were doing for the last 30 minutes. And then it was just, oh, your skin's too thick. Which makes sense, but I think we should have just let it work. Because that would have been cool. Because that was the scene where we were going in and out of the building really fast and tying him down, and then we landed on him, put it on him.
I love the action scene, like I said, but I was pissed. What were you thinking in that moment?
Alex is gonna be pissed.
What about you? You're the number one Rage Hulk guy.
Yeah.
You're a bigger Rage Hulk guy than me.
Oh, but I'm still glad we got Rage Hulk. I don't like how he got defeated, but he was Rage Hulk.
Yeah,
finally.
Yeah.
I was very happy.
What do you think of the reveal of Jean Grey's name?
It was a little anticlimactic.
I genuinely thought it was like laughable. Like it was.